Hello everyone and welcome back to my official The GH24 News YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Jordan's place, she and Isaiah argue about her probing Sidwell. Jordan says if their being together hinges on her not probing Sidwell, also this is over. He says he'll accept her probing Sidwell, indeed if he doesn't like it. They partake a kiss, and he suppositions they should get used to spending a lot of time then, which means grocery shopping. Dante stops by Maxie's house as he's upset Lulu's going to get herself in a situation she can't get out of. Maxie slips up about Lulu's rearmost caper, breaking into Martin's hostel room. Dante calls Lulu out of control. Maxie thinks he should talk to Lulu, but Dante says they can't talk like they used to because of Sam. He's trying to keep this family together, and his number one precedence is to be a pater. He says Rocco is also hurting, as he doesn't want his mama to put herself in peril to find Charlotte, but he wants his family back. He can't talk to Lulu, but he can talk with Brook Lynn, and that only hurts Lulu. He can't believe this Brook Lynn and Lulu thing has gone on this long. Maxie blurts out, "It's because Lulu is still in love with you." Dante is confused as Lulu was going to marry Dustin. Maxie hates having to break girl law but tells him that Lulu broke effects off with Dustin and was going to tell Dante she wanted him back, but that's when she went into the coma. Maxie says he's asked Lulu to be patient with Brook Lynn, but he needs to be patient with Lulu. Maxie points out that Rocco needs both him and Lulu, and they've to be there for him no matter what's going on between them. In Brook Lynn's room, she yells at Lulu that telling Dante will blow up a lot of lives and wouldn't make this better for anyone. Lulu says this will change Dante's life, and her life changed when she set out about Charlotte. Brook Lynn says that was a different situation. Charlotte was little, and her son is an adult and may not know he's espoused. As much as she'd love for her child to show up and want to be part of her life, it isn't their choice. It's her child's choice. Lulu feels that Dante is an awful father and that any boy would be lucky to have him in his life. She urges her to tell Dante. Brook Lynn says she could lie about Dante being the father. Lulu can't believe she'd do that. Brook Lynn states she'll do anything to cover her child. She tells Lulu that knowing you have a child you can't be with is agony, and she'll be subjugating Dante to the same pain. She says Dante will move heaven and earth to find their child, which means Rocco will have been abandoned by both his parents, who are searching for their other kitties. Lulu becomes furious and can't believe she'd use her child against her, and it's a good thing she gave her kid up as she's not fit to be anyone's mama. Brook Lynn tries to poke her, but Lulu grabs her hand. Brook Lynn cries she's a mama. She gave her baby up for relinquishment, she wouldn't let herself hold him, and she didn't know if she had a boy or a girl until Lulu told her. Lulu is sorry and assumes she knew. Brook Lynn notes she presumably also assumed it was easy for her to give her baby up, but it wasn't. She cries she loved her baby and has to believe that by giving him down she gave him a better life. She wants to know how he turned out, but not at the expenditure of his happiness or peace. She says, "Indeed I'm not that selfish." Brook Lynn says if her son wants to find his birth parents, also he will, but until also, she begs Lulu to leave it alone. Lulu doesn't want to be the bone who blows up Dante's life or their child's. She wouldn't tell Dante, but she thinks Brook Lynn should. Brook Lynn made her choice times agone. And the history needs to stay in the history. Lulu tells Brook Lynn the secret isn't the history, and she no way would have set out about this if her mama hadn't talked to Martin. Lulu leaves Brook Lynn's room. Brook Lynn grabs her phone and textbooks her mama that they need to talk ASAP. In the living room, Ned asks why Lois is okay letting Gio be a charity case for Sonny. Lois says Gio isn't a charity case, and he's family. Ned knows the boy is in Memorial Chirullo, but what does that have to do with taking plutocrat from Sonny? Lois says the Chirullos loved Gio and they loved his mama, but they demanded Sonny's plutocrat to make sure Joe's gift for music was cultivated. Ned asks why she went to Sonny rather of coming to him. Lois says Ned formally supports enough generous causes. Sonny grew up alone and didn't want Gio to struggle the same way he did. Tracy visits her parents' vault and says she'll not let Drew take anything from this family. She also hears Martin and Drew outside talking. With Martin's help, Drew has the vault seized by the state and hangs a sign on it stating so. Tracy walks out and asks what's going on. Martin says this structure has been seized and must be vacated. Martin hands Tracy a court order, which she rips up. She threatens to call the police, but Drew says the law is on their side. Drew and Tracy throw cuts, and Drew says, "You Quartermaines suppose you can do anything you want. You make me sick." He doesn't care who she thinks she is, as she's getting her way this time. Emma and Geo show up, and Emma yells, "Hey, leave the old lady alone." Tracy gasps, "Old lady?" Drew tells Emma that the Quartermaines have appropriated public land, and the vault goes over the property and is on defended land. He trash addresses Edward, which riles up Emma. The youthful girl yells that Edward Quartermaine saved her life and Tracy saved her from kidnappers. Drew introduces himself, and Emma calls him a petty Solon and notes their trespassing. Tracy again says she's calling the police. Drew calls Tracy a bully, and Tracy yells, says the man using the family vault to discipline the people who threw him out of said family. Geo rushes into the main house and tells Ned and Lois what's going on between Drew and Tracy at the vault. Back at the vault, Chase arrives and learns about the issue with the Quartermaine crypt. Ned, Geo, and Lois are also there, and Drew says the Quartermaines need to move the family vault off the defended public land. Tracy says this is all about Drew's abomination of this family. Emma pulls out her phone, begins rephotographing, and asks the Solon if he should be helping his ingredients rather of hanging them. Emma points out that Congress is in session, so why is he then and not there serving his people? Tracy notes that the surveyor said his findings on the vault were primary, so how did Drew and Martin get a court order to seize the structure so snappily? Emma continues to retake the altercation. Back at Jordan's, she and Isaiah are doing some online shopping for food when Ned calls Jordan. Jordan arrives at the Quartermaine vault as a favor to Ned. Drew thinks she shouldn't have to be dragged out then, and the law is the law, and it's on his side. The vault incompletely stands on conserved public land. Tracy recalls that Martin agreed to drop all of this if Drew would be allowed to use the Quartermaine name. Drew asks Tracy who he is, Drew Kane or Drew Quartermaine? She says he can call himself whatever he wants, but he'll no way be a Quartermaine. Emma posts her videotape, slamming Drew, and Tracy smacks the surveyor's measuring instrument out of his hand when he begins taking measurements. Drew says that's assault, and Chase is forced to arrest Tracy when the surveyor wants to press charges, thanks to Martin seesawing to him to do so. Back in the manse, Lois arrives, having gotten Brook Lynn's textbook. She sees that her son is worried. Brook Lynn asks, "What do you know about my child that you aren't telling me?" Lulu heads to Maxie's, bangs on her frontal door, and yells to Maxie that she really needs her help. Dante answers the door. In Buenos Aires, Jason and Anna sit in an auto outside a home they suspect Charlotte and Valentine are in. Jason thinks it should be easy enough to get in, get Charlotte and get out. Anna feels it's too easy, and Commodity is wrong. Anna notes given what happened in Prague, Valentine may be awaiting them or someone differently. A vehicle arrives, and Anna says the WSB is then and they've to move. Inside, Charlotte peers out the curtains, allowing Commodity is going on. Valentine tells her to get down from the window. Charlotte says she doesn't like it then and asks how long they've to stay. Valentine says not long, and it's time they say goodbye. Valentine explains that keeping her with him is selfish and dangerous. He should have let her mama take her in Prague. He texted Rocco pretending to be her, and Lulu is presumably on her way then. Charlotte admits she misses her mama but doesn't want to be without him moreover. Suddenly, Anna and Jason burst in, ordnance drawn. Anna tells them there's a kill team behind them, so Valentine needs to take Charlotte and go. Valentine and Charlotte run, and Anna calls out to the two-man kill team. She identifies herself and tells them Valentine is gone. She says they should call Jack Brennan, but they say he's not running this up. Jason and Anna take down the two men, and Valentine comes out of the murk with Charlotte. Valentine reveals he transferred the textbook to Rocco, and he needs them to take Charlotte home before the coming kill team comes. Valentine and Charlotte say goodbye, and Jason takes Charlotte outdoors. Valentine cries to Anna that he feels like that's the last time he'll see his son. She says it doesn't have to be and asks him to let her bring him in and try and work out a deal. Valentine says he knows too important and that he tried to kill Jack, so the WSB wouldn't let him live. However, he's free to do what he must, if Charlotte is safe. She begs him not to throw his life down. Valentine says the time they were together was the stylish months of his life. She says a part of her will always love him. He tells her to take care of Charlotte and races out. Outside, Charlotte asks Jason if he took her out of there so Anna could kill her father. Jason says Anna wouldn't do that, and she's likely trying to save him. On the coming General Hospital, Portia suggests an armistice to Curtis between him and Drew. Tracy sits in the PCPD interrogation room, and Drew says, "What makes you suppose it couldn't be again?" Carly talks to Sasha about her situation and how it's different from hers. Brook Lynn asks her mama what she has told her about her baby. Jason feels someone is making a mistake.